I'm Amy, sex educator, sex and relationship coach, and sex shop owner.
And I'm April, VP of an international high-end pleasure products company and boss queen sex toy mogul. We're best friends who make our own rules about who we are as sexual beings.
With everything from how to be a badass in the bedroom to top tips for bringing your relationship to the next level, we have something just for you.
So sit back, relax,
and enjoy the show. Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Hello, everyone.
Yo, 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 party people, crank up the volume.
She did that because we had a listener that actually wrote in and asked if we could make the podcast, the volume hot, like hotter, meaning more loud and cranked up because it's too quiet for some of you. Yes, we listened to all of your requests, so we're trying to turn this one up. So hopefully it doesn't...
I wouldn't say all of your requests.
We listen. Well, we read all of them.
Because didn't someone want us to record naked?
Oh, totally doing that sometime. But it doesn't mean we have to film it. We can just do it and then tell them that we're naked.
I will, because your house is kind of hot right now.
It's pretty hot in my house. And then we can take suggestive photos that don't show our bits. And they can make up all kinds of fancy stories.
Even Legend's hot, he told me.
Your dog wants to take off his fur because it's baking in here. All right, everyone. So this episode is very exciting because it is with two FemDoms.
And they were so fun. We were on their SiriusXM radio show.
Yes.
Channel 415.
Channel 415.
Which, P.S., I was just with someone with SiriusXM radio and I could not find Channel 415. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, they said it's SiriusXM Channel 415. It's called iWantRadio. And they do it 3 days a week, right? Was it Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
I think it's...
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
They are awesome. I'm going to read the bio in a minute, but it's with Dr. Lovejoy and Bratty Nikki, and they are FemDom / they do humiliation work, and they don't even do any cam work at all. It's all just over the phone. And it's not, they don't do in-person work with people, so it's pretty awesome. It's just using their voices to make a lot of money to fulfill predominantly, actually all men. It's just men, they said,
it's
right?
mostly, yeah, they only work with cis men, mostly hetero cis men.
Yeah, who want to be put in their place, be humiliated or controlled or whatever their desire is. They have something for them.
Some pretty incredibly funny stories and also just like awesome shares. And
they're very intelligent, strong, badass,
really
empowered women. Like they were saying to us, like, why do you live in Santa Cruz? If you were down here, we'd do so much together.
So like, we should go out to dinner. We're like, I'm down, but we couldn't that day. But next time we're coming for you.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
So Patreon, everyone, we have a Patreon. We've talked about it, and we have to give a couple shout outs. Courtney, Poppy, and Craig, who donated on Patreon. We love you. Thank you for supporting us.
Merci beaucoup.
You are definitely contributing to our microphone fund. Someone else is actually sending us some microphones that we also still need these specific microphones, though. Specifically when we have guests and they don't know how to hold the microphones. But someone else is gifting us microphones that can be connected to a table, right? They're like
yes. And we also need to figure out, which if anybody out there knows, how to record with microphones into Zoom with two microphones.
And we know how to do that. His name is
really?
Sean from the Love Drive.
Nice.
He knows how to do that. Nice. Yeah, he's the one everyone who did the episodes, everything.
You want to know about pussy eating?
Yeah, women wish you knew about eating pussy or something. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Yes, we'll get to it. But Courtney, Poppy, Craig, we love you very, very much. Shameless Sex sends you big hugs and consensual kisses. Okay, so sex question. Dun, 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 dun. Also, if you're in Salt Lake City, we are teaching the weekend that this following when this podcast comes out.
August. It's the first weekend in August. Saturday and Sunday. There's two classes. One is Saturday evening. Mm-hmm. The other is Sunday morning. Brunches and blowjobs. Blowjobs and brunches.
Yeah,
brunches and brunches.
Blowjobs and brunch. And then Saturday evening is orgasms for everyone. Orgasm 101. So that one's open to everyone. It's at Blue Boutique. Go to blueboutique.com and you can learn more and come learn with us. It is extra fun. Okay. Sex question. My wife frequently gets UTIs and yeast infections. I'm a male and always careful about washing my hands. Not cross-contaminated from anal play and vaginal, and we're admittedly a little ignorant on lubes. Basically, we clean up before, after, and during, and I was just curious if you guys have any additional suggestions. Thanks. It's interesting because we just recorded a podcast today that isn't going online for a little bit, but the woman,
the doctor,
Dr. Jolene Brighton, was talking about birth control methods giving frequent UTIs, or sorry, not UTIs, yeast infections.
She was also saying gut health.
Yes, gut health.
Gut health can be linked to like an over amount of yeast in the body, and your gut is linked to so many things.
Do they call it the second brain?
It is.
Yeah.
And if you are curious about nutrition, they'll link most of the things that are wrong with you health-wise to your gut. I learned this from my friend that has the podcast Postpartum Stories.
Yeah.
When she was trying to get pregnant, because she was having fertility issues, she couldn't, and she started seeing all these naturopaths, and they linked almost all of her issues to her gut.
Yeah.
And she had no idea. So she was telling me about this, and now, years later, when I figured out why I was getting a lot of issues, including my yeast infection, my yeast anniversary is in April every year.
Her first and hopefully last.
It's linked to a lot of the foods you eat because food is medicine, and your gut health can be restored. Yeah. So even if you are having problems, including your sex drive, but Dr. Lovejoy, not Dr. Lovejoy, she's going to be on our show today. Dr. Brighton was talking about that today, and it can be linked to yeast infections for sure. I don't know about UTIs.
Yeah, I don't know about UTIs, but I would imagine if someone's getting frequent UTIs and yeast infections and you're being as clean as possible, there's probably something else going on with their body. Like April's saying, we're not doctors, so we can't really know, but checking out the gut health. And then they are saying, I'm ignorant on lubes. Water-based lubes have natural matter in it, so they're more likely to cause yeast infection than like a silicone lube, because silicone lube doesn't have any organic matter in it. So that's, again, Uber lube would be a better option for you than a water-based lube.
Is she peeing after they have sex?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't say that, and so that's helpful if someone gets UTIs easily to always pee after sex, and if you're having sex for a long time, to actually in the middle of sex also to take little urination breaks. Also learning how to female ejaculate, or not female, we're still calling it that, I guess. How to ejaculate could help to push any bacteria through the urethra.
Our close friend that we both know very well had a chronic UTI problem, remember, for a long time.
But it wasn't UTIs.
It wasn't.
She found out later when she got tested that it was a plasma thing that she was getting specific because her partner was a carrier of it. So, so that was a different thing. It sounds like they know that it's UTIs and yeast infections, but like April was saying, you know, if something is keep happening over and over again, but they're most careful and it keeps on happening, there's probably a bigger issue there, or maybe not bigger, but there's a root cause to potentially look at. And yes, lubes are part of it. Being in water too much, like does she take a lot of baths? Does she use, or UTIs are also caused by like underwear that has used laundry detergent that's scented. Yeah. Scented products can be a problem.
And also with yeast infections, can't the amount, if you're ingesting a lot of sugar, can't that be a trigger to build up yeast in your body? I've read that somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, sugar is definitely, I think, the leading cause of, or it's definitely a big instigator of it. I don't know if that's the right word, but
pre-diabetics.
Oh yeah, that is a sign of being pre-diabetic is a lot of yeast infections too. Yeah, but there's just the UTIs here, so it sounds like there's some more information that we would need, and we are not doctors.
No, we're not doctors.
Maybe working with a naturopath or someone who can do more work around gut health.
Maybe Dr. Brighton.
And getting, Dr. Brighton. Yeah, and that podcast should come out in a couple weeks, but Dr. Jolene Brighton, you can look that up. She has a whole bunch of information on her website, and using a silicone lube like Uber Lube, and also getting rid of all scented products that you might be using, and not hanging out in water too much, or like wet panties or bathing suits can be an issue. Okay.
Noise advice, Amy.
Everyone,
noise.
On the occasion, we're going to be talking about a sex act of the week and a sex toy of the week. This week is brought to you by edging. April, what is edging?
Well, we talked about this specifically because this episode is with two FemDoms. Mm-hmm. And in my years of product development and training, I learned from some folks that were in the dominatrix field about edging and using toys to edge. Edging is pretty cool because it actually brings you almost to orgasm, you know, whether it's however you want to get there. You could do it yourself through masturbation. Your partner can do it to you. So where you get to that orgasmic stage, and it's right there, and then you stop whatever you're doing, and then you can build up again and then go back and build up again, and that's edging. So
and then it makes that orgasm and you finally have it
just an
extra
explosion.
Yeah, we sound like frat boys.
So I learned from some folks that are in the dominatrix community about using the Pulse Solo from Hot Octopus for edging, because it actually can be put on the penis and you can take it off right before an orgasm, and then you can put it back on. And the technology in the Solo helps the penis, so it causes involuntary ejaculation and erections. Mm-hmm. That's like the oscillation. So you can put it on and then take it off as soon as you feel like you're going to come. Also, though, if you do orgasm after using it, you can have multiple orgasms using the product too. And penis owners, typically it's more difficult for them to have multiple orgasms. So that can be a helpful tool. And if you want to try edging for yourself and you have a penis and you want to check out the Solo, pure pleasure.
Go to purepleasureshop.com. Use coupon code shamelesssex in all caps. You get 15% off. And if you just want to try edging, you can try it anyway. You can try it with a toy, but edging also just applies to having sex.
Yeah.
Or not just sex, masturbation. I can edge with my own finger on my clitoris, and if I feel like I'm about to have an orgasm, I stop and pull back. And if you've never tried this, everyone, try it out, because a lot of people do find that, wow, the orgasmic potential is way bigger when I make myself wait for it and build myself up and kind of ride that wave.
I've had it though where I've done edging and then it's basically like 2 or 3 times of almost coming, and then something's happened, like the doorbell rang, and I was like, damn it. So then I never received the explosive orgasm that I was looking for. So then when I re-upped my masturbation after the doorbell was answered, it was not as what I wanted it to be. I was like, damn it. I had all of this time and energy placed into me wanting this orgasm, and I had it, and it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But
what is the lesson in that, April?
Don't answer the door.
Oh, don't answer the door when you're masturbating.
Yeah. Just let it ring.
Yeah, just let it ring and tell those people to wait. And then you can maybe like fantasize and get off about this person having to wait for you as you masturbate.
It was the UPS man.
Oh, was it a man?
Yeah, it was a man.
Hey, UPS man.
And he asked me for he had a package, and he asked me for my door code because we changed it.
Was it role play? And he's like, "Hey, I have your package."
No, but I was in a very interesting outfit. Like I was in a
hot and bothered.
I was in a swimsuit, and I was running down the stairs trying to put my shorts on, so I just wouldn't be hanging out in a bikini, because I live in next to a coffee shop, and there's just people all the time, and so he was very perplexed by my situation, and I don't know what he thought. And like then my dog was like, "Wah, wah, wah," and I was like, "Oh, damn it!"
April smells. You reek like sex.
I hope so.
So before we read the bio, everyone, this podcast is made possible by Manscaped. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for you or your man's family jewels. April, how do you feel about a bush?
You're not talking about George W., right?
No, not WWW.
WWW.
No, like a pubic hair bush.
So I have to tell you, I personally love a trimmed bush. I always have. And my partner, that was part of the reason I loved him so much, because when I first, gave him the old 1-2-1-2 BJ action, which we like to call, what do we call blowjobs now?
We're calling it...
Not a job.
No, we're...
Blow fun? No.
We're not blowing, though.
Oh, we had a name for them the other
time. Did we
time.
make up a name?
I think so. We'll come back to you on that.
Back to it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when I was going down there, I was just
delighted,
amazed and shocked, and loved his bush, because he has a nice trimmed bush. I have had many times where I have been going down on people without a trimmed bush, and I had some pubes in my teeth, and then I got to get it out, and I stop and doing that like the cat hairball thing. So this Manscaped company makes this lawnmower 2.0.
It says skin safe technology.
But it's like it's an automatic razor, and it trims his hair. He used it just 2 days ago, and I was like, it looks really nice. And he said it made it all soft, and you don't risk damaging or nicking your balls with it.
Oh, no one wants to snag a nut.
No, you don't want to snag your nut.
They also have a crop cleanser, a crop reviver, also known as For Your Goods. That's your crop. And best of all, the crop preserver. This is ball deodorant for anti-chafing. And let me tell you, I gave some to my housemate and had him try, because I don't have balls. So I was like, you need to try this product and tell me how it is. And he went on a sweaty bike ride, and he said he stayed fresh and dry and absolutely loved it.
And no chafing. He said no chafing.
No chafing.
We asked for some feedback.
Chafe free. And guess what? Our listeners get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHAMELESS, and that has a capital S in shameless, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code SHAMELESS, capital S, and your bits, they shall thank you for it.
I'm going to trim my bush with that thing, too.
I'm going to trim George Bush. Oh, wait, don't tell him that.
Oh.
Okay, bio time. Dr. Lovejoy is an experienced FemDom phone sex operator with years in the industry. Bratty Nikki is a very successful online FemDom who is also co-owner of iWantClips. They are also co-hosts of IWantRadio show on SiriusXM channel 415, as we said before. The hour-long, 3 times a week show is devoted to human sexuality, fetish, and society's evolution towards acceptance and celebration of consensual behaviors. Its mission is to celebrate kink and fetish through thoughtful dialogue, education, role-playing, and coaching. To learn more, visit iWantRadio.com and iWantClips.com. Are you ready?
I want Amy right now.
You can have her. She's all yours.
Yeah.
But first, trim your bush. We are here in Los Angeles, and we have been at a trade show. We are recording up a storm at this trade show, and we recorded a podcast. Was that yesterday? The day before yesterday? We just went on another show today with some wonderful humans from IWantRadio, Bratty Nikki and Dr. Lovejoy. This is on Sirius channel 415. It's live, but it was live, but you can actually find it for next week, although this is coming out later, so I don't know how much that helps you, but go check them out. They have a wonderful show, and we'll be back on the show as well. And we're just going to dive in and have you explain who you are, because you're quite fascinating.
Hi,
what
thank
you
you.
Hello,
ladies.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Bratty Nikki. I am a financial dominatrix. I've been doing this about 8 years. I have a very bratty style, a bratty princess style. So men basically give me money for being a greedy, demanding brat and looking great in a bikini. I'm also the co-founder and co-owner of iWantClips.com, which is a great site for independent content producers with a strong focus on female empowerment. We love to support our artists.
Well, okay, but first, actually, I'll ask you. You can tell who you are, because I want to know how you got here into these pieces, because I'm sure there's a story. But tell us about you, Dr. Lovejoy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lovejoy, the resident sexpert FemDom, and I do phone domination. It falls under the phone sex category, but I don't really consider myself phone sex because there's no oohs and ahs when you call me. It's mostly conversational, fetish oriented. I've been doing it for 15 years, and now I'm the host, one of the hosts of IWantRadio. So here I am.
And we were just on the show, and it was so much fun. By the way, you have great chemistry.
Thank you.
People call
Thank you.
in and have the funniest shit. They share / comment / ask questions on. So I really enjoyed the time.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad to hear that.
We had a
We
great show.
loved having you guys
Yeah,
on.
it was fantastic. Cannot wait for you to be on again.
And it was all men that called. Is this
Yes.
a regular thing for you?
Yes.
Yes. Every time we get a female caller, we're really excited because female attention is just,
It's so rare.
yeah, it's so rare.
We get
it's
a
so much more
nugget.
valuable, you know?
And it seemed like a lot of cis hetero men, right?
Yes.
From what I experienced, but it's interesting. I there's people that send you videos of their penises too. I'm like,
Small
oh,
penis.
Now
nice.
those are
Small
those are not radio show runoff. Those guys are the clients of ours from the online world. But most of our listeners are in, because we're drive time, so it's regular folks driving home. We're you've had a crappy day. You get to laugh, talk about sex, listen about sex.
Yeah,
Easy,
we want it to be
easy.
entertaining and funny, and we just want people to have a good time.
Yeah.
So how does one? Because we had someone that was Sierra Lynch, Sierra, one of the two. Sierra Lynch, who's a humiliatrix on the show, and she told her story of how she got into that. But how did you get into these professions of yours that I find so awesome and fascinating?
Well, I actually had a friend who was camming, and she discovered financial domination, went for it right away, was instantly successful. And she messaged me. At the time, I wasn't really doing much of anything. I was go-go dancing, sometimes stripping, being a shot girl, like gigs, nothing really exciting. And she messaged me and was like, hey, I found this thing called financial domination, specifically this bratty princess angle. And she was like, you're the most spoiled princess I know, so I think you would be great at it. You just got to play up the brat like a lot. And I was like, I can do that. And I did it, and I did it well. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
And you're one of the for iWantClips?
Yes, iWantClips.com.
You're one of the founders, owners of that.
Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah. I was doing a lot of clips and using a lot of different sites for different services, like one site for phone, one site for clips. And I felt like there wasn't really a complete site that offered everything that I needed and that my fellow dominatrixes needed. So it was just kind of born out of necessity. I looked at all these sites and thought, hey, we can do this better. Let's make this happen. Let's make a site that really is focused on what the artist needs. We were actually the first site to start calling performers, models, doms, artists, because we view what they create as art. They are not showing up to a set and doing what's told, which is totally fine. For some people that totally works for them. But for a lot of independents, they put a lot of thought and care and creativity into creating something that's unique and different from mainstream, like hardcore porn. And we just feel that they are artists more so than they are performers or models.
They're creating an experience, right, for their clients.
Exactly.
Which is really, that's art. And people pick what they want. I love that. And I love that you're bratty.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I feel like you're so sweet.
I mean,
I see your bratty side.
It came natural to me.
Are you bratty in the bedroom with your partner too? Or is it more like a role that you take on in the working realm?
I feel like I'm bratty in my real life to my partner and not in the bedroom. And then I play it up more as Bratty Nikki. Okay. But I've always kind of been bratty. I was daddy's little girl. I was always spoiled. I've always expected, like, my boyfriends, my husband, to spoil me. So, yeah, I'm a natural.
Sounds fun. What about you, Dr. Lovejoy? How did you came from the music?
I have a
industry?
very different, absolutely different background than Nikki. I came from the entertainment business. I was in the music business pretty much my entire life, doing radio promotion. Therefore, if you're listening to the radio, I was part of being responsible of any of the music you're hearing. So I was used to talking to men for years and years. And at one point, if you guys know anything about the music biz, Napster came along and things started to go down. And eventually my department didn't exist. It doesn't exist to this day. It's gone. It's a dinosaur. And major labels have gone together. So half of the labels don't exist anymore. It's now just one thing, where there was like Arista, Warner, Elektra, Atlantic. None of that's anymore. So I became a fossil, and a friend of mine who was also a male said, you should look into phone sex, because I know somebody who started business and ended up selling it. So I started looking around as I had my department got vanished into thin air. And I was like, I'd never been an assistant in my life. I jumped immediately I was offered a job very fast. I went from college interning to I was offered a job straight away, and that parlayed very fast. And I was thinking, I'm never going to be an assistant. I will not do it. So I end up going on this site. This is long before, Google's barely happening at this point. It doesn't exist anymore. It was called Phone Actress, okay? And what you would do is, for $20 an hour, which then is amazing. This is like 17 years ago. You dialed in and you would sit there and calls would come in, but they would come in different ways. It would be like Asian, Black, BBW. And then quickly you'd have to be like, hi, I'm this, hi, I'm that. And I was like, fuck, I am good at this.
You became those roles.
I became the roles. Then one day a caller says, you don't need to be doing this for another business. Did you know that there is a way to do this yourself? And I end up finding this platform. I go on there and I started with myself. And all of a sudden, very fast, I was making more money than I made in entertainment in 3 months. Again, this could not be possible now because the market is saturated to death. I found my calling, and I started making it, and it only grew from there. And in 15 years, my income has only gone up. In fact, during the recession was the shittiest I ever did, and that was still above the average person's income. So I never look back on the music industry, because there is no music industry, and there's no fucking way I'm gonna not be an independent person. I get to work for myself wherever, whenever, and it is a blessing. And I got to kind of live out, by the way. Oh, so wait, sorry. I didn't know about this Dom thing. I realized that you could do this. Guys want to be told that they're nerds, losers. All of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, I am getting my high school. I am getting my retribution out, and it's coming out. And I was like, I am really good at this, and I'm a natural. And I feel like you can't just make money at this if you're not good. Not anybody can just. There's more to it than saying you're an idiot.
Do people tell you what they want you to kind of, how they want you to shame them? Or is
yes,
it you
but
figured out?
After time, you become so good that you hear keywords. I can tell you what you want within 3 seconds. I hear it in your voice. I know words that you're saying that tip me off. Don't you feel the exact same way?
Totally. And I try to just get them talking so they
let you know
what they want without realizing it or without asking, because that's not very dominant to ask what they want. So
that's like we are shameless sex, and you're basically shaming. So, but it works though, because there's something out there for everyone, and people want that. That's part of their I guess what their pleasure.
But here's an interesting tidbit about this: the majority of my clients that I have at least know for a fact that have revealed themselves to me, that have opened themselves to say, hey, this is who I really am in real life. They would blow you away with how successful they are, how attractive they are. But, everybody needs their something. And think about it. It makes sense. When you're in a powerful position, you go home and your wife's like, yes, yes, yes. Sometimes you just want to put on some panties and be told, hey, guess what? Everyone in your office fucking hates you. Your employees think you're annoying as shit. And that's it. That's all. It's very simple. Yeah, it's no harm, no foul, I personally think that we are saving relationships from people stepping out.
I think most guys enjoy it while they're in the session, and then they go back to normal. It's not like they go through their lives thinking, I'm a loser, women hate me, just because they jerk off to that or enjoy that humiliation. That's not all that they are as a person, as a human being.
I respect them, quite frankly. I don't truly hate they know, they come, and then I'm like, all right, do you have a good time? Yeah. We're during the session, and then after it's like, and they appreciate it. And I think that's what's kept us with our long-term clients is because it's just cool.
Have you tapped into the cam? Because the cam market is growing, right? And I feel like that's like a bigger piece of the pie right now within our industry.
I don't show myself.
So you don't. I was wondering if not yet.
I used to do a lot of cam sessions. That's how I got really popular. I was never on a cam site. I always did it independently and taking payment through different sites.
You don't show nudity, though, either.
No, I don't show nudity. I'll wear like a bikini or something sexy, or I might just wear yoga pants and like a tank top. But yeah, I felt like camming was really good for me. It helped me build up my clientele really fast, and it was fun.
I actually may cam at some point when iWantClips eventually is going to have a camming at some point, and I will do it. But it'll just be it'll be doctor sessions. Right. I will be Dr. Lovejoy as like we're here and you can come hang out with me. But there will be you're going to get what you see. But they love it. That's what they're looking for with me. Me personally, I don't go as like glam. I'm just me.
Yeah,
but that's what they did.
They just want to see me in a bikini.
Yeah, they want that ass, those titties.
Yeah. And so is for the folks that are, so you think that one of the primary things that these people are getting out of, and it's mostly men, right? Do you have any female identified clients?
Never.
No,
Never.
All men. Are they, so the main thing you think they're getting out of it is this, it's like this release that they're kind of on your show, we talked about daddy issues. Someone had this question, and it's a similar thing that there's, maybe this, or maybe I'll ask you if you think it's similar. Is it this part of them that has had this desire that may have come from wherever, childhood or yesterday or whatever that is, that they have this desire to feel a certain way that they aren't feeling in everyday life or didn't get in the past, and that they can have this moment with you, either of you, where they can finally get that feeling and then go back to everyday life where it's not always there?
Yeah, I think it's like scratching an itch, kind of.
100%. And Have you guys noticed, or I don't know if you talk to guys that are jerking off, their voice significantly changes the second they orgasm. Significantly noticeably. It's the most like I kind of want you guys. I want to do it so you.
We want to give you guys a sample.
Yeah, I want. I really want you guys to hear it because it's pretty unbelievable. And when you tap in it, it's like be like, oh my god! Like a lot of guys call us sissy guys. Like, oh, Miss Nikki, you're so this, you're so hot. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, and then it's like, all right, well, thanks. Have a great day, Nikki. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Does the session end right after there's an orgasm? Usually?
For the most part. I feel like it depends on the individual relationship with the client because some people you're more friendly with and you have a more just friendly banter, so you might hang out and talk. I mean, my best clients don't jerk off while we're sessioning or hanging out, you know.
I'm sure material for later.
Yeah, I'm sure they do later, but
they
not
try to be
presence.
respectful.
Yeah, they are trying to be respectful.
I think of it as getting the poison out. Once they get that poison out, then all of a sudden I kind of feel like it's brain fog. When your dick is hard, there's a big cloud over your head. Then the poison comes out, and the cloud goes away, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to resume back to my normal life. Thanks. Come again.
Well, and the voice that you use too, and I mean, it's a reenactment. It was kind of like all of a sudden they were like just smooth sailing in their power.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Interesting. I want to start paying attention to that. I mean, I'd say send us some voice memos with your before, during, and after, but please don't actually. But
it's pretty amazing, actually. Like shocking. Yeah. I have several clients who speak to me in a different voice because they portray either a sissy thing and they just are like, the sub voice. They call as a sub, but they're not even like that. And their real voice is nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't have like a ton of sissies. I've had some really good ones. But overall, my clients, I feel when they call or we're on cam and, they're speaking, they just have that sense of weakness in their voice, that they're submissive. You can sense the weakness, that they want to worship you, that they are here to like worship you as their goddess. And then when it's over, they sound kind of normal.
Yeah, it's like reality kicked right back in.
Do you think that mommy issues are a big theme? Like that a lot of your clients might have interesting relationships with, or maybe mom or women or the feminine, and they're desiring, like, because I'm just relating to my experience with daddy issues and why I want to be in this submissive place and sometimes, punished, or I'm not really, maybe a little bit of humiliation actually. But do you think that there is some sort of correlation? I don't know if you even find out that part of their life or their history.
I think there definitely is for some because I see a lot of other dominatrixes
specializing in
like this mommy dom character. For me, like I'm a brat, so it doesn't really. I don't attract those type of people to me, but I do think it is a thing.
It's a thing.
I've seen it in our scene a lot.
We don't play that up ever, and I think that's a specific women. That's their thing. But yeah, I never actually. I get a little annoyed every once in a while. I'll get somebody be like, "Yes, mom." I'm like, "No. I'm doctor. I'm not your mother.
Yeah.
Don't call me your mother. You've got your own
I'm
mother.
princess.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not your mommy. But I think that's a specific. They're looking for something very specific that they're not getting from us.
But I do think for a lot of the clients or people that are into this, it is rooted somewhere in their youth, their adolescence, some experience. Turn them on. It was maybe their first sexual experience or the first time they realized something made them horny, and it's stuck with them through life. One of my highest spending clients was an altar boy and grew up super religious.
Catholic?
Yes, of course. And he told me that he can't get a boner without feeling some sort of shame because in his teenage years, it was just masturbation, shame, boner, shame, anything sexual was with a sense of shame. So now he can't get off without that.
Nylons to me would be the closest thing to a mommy-ish thing. When I get someone with a nylon fetish, I always ask, because to me, that stems from when you're younger, a teacher, because think about it, nylons in this era, it's something kicked back. Your mom, a teacher, and they're always like, yes. Sometimes it's Wonder Woman. Some just something, but everything goes backwards. Everything. We were just talking about on the show, was it yesterday, dick flicking or flicking, pain infliction. And I feel like that stems from being like teased and tormented on a playground, like somebody coming up to you and flicking you.
Yeah.
Where is that? Because who's flicking as an adult?
I love being spanked, and I used to get spanked when I was younger, and sometimes with a belt, and sometimes I have been kind of flogged a little bit with a belt too.
The
Not
belt
super
is so
hard.
old school.
It's super old school, and I think it must come from my childhood.
Of course,
totally.
And I love like the sting of it, and it really turns me on. And I didn't even know it would until I started exploring that.
How about soap in the mouth?
Anybody get that?
I didn't come across
anybody
that
get
one,
those-
and I
yeah.
never had that as
Really?
a child.
A bar-
no. I got the belt.
Or stand in the corner with a bar of soap in your mouth. Not me personally, but that's like an old.
The Irish Spring.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is I wonder if these fetishes are going to die out because people don't really spank their kids anymore. It's
God, interesting.
Good.
What do they do
question.
so
now?
much parenting information is shared nowadays. So I feel like parents are.
People have timeout fetishes.
Yeah, because that's
Put me in timeout.
You can't spank your kid
and
now. That's
nobody
abuse.
wears nylons.
Totally.
Yeah, who's wearing nylon? Well, yeah, but we're in California, so we're forgetting cold areas.
But I still don't think they're a thing for younger women.
Oh, right.
You know, for
Girdles
like
too. Those are kind of out. People
Yeah,
don't wear
girdle.
those as often.
And think about that. The men
Yeah.
with these corset fetishes, where's that coming from? Girdles.
Yeah.
Or like the control top panty. Loads of panty wearers. I can't go a day without a call that doesn't have somebody wanting to talk to me about wearing panties.
They're wearing panties in that moment.
Every day. Not a day goes by.
And I have a question for you guys that I wanted to get to on our show that we didn't. So I'm really happy we have this time. But what advice would you give to like a man who wants to wear panties but doesn't know how to tell his partner, or a woman whose, partner comes to her and is like, hey, I want to wear panties? Because I feel like women are weirded out by men's fetishes. Yeah. That's why we're in business.
No,
Society.
exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that. So, it's funny because our podcast is all about can we, and I used to use the word eradicate shame, but actually now I like to stick more to help people move through or with shame, because shame, it can be a great teacher and it keeps you in business. So, and everyone has it in these small degrees. But yeah, so there's someone already has shame maybe about, there's this thing I'm into wearing panties, and they talk to their partner about it, and their partner double shames them by saying, oh, that's weird, or that's gross, or I'm not comfortable with this. So I would suggest for anyone that has anything that they're interested to tell their partner what's true, right? So there's this thing that I've been thinking about that I find really attractive. I'm really afraid to tell you. Be honest about that, about the fear and the fact that this is really scary. But this is something that I'm interested in, and I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do this, but this is a thing for me, and is this a safe place for me to express that here? And then you share what that is with them. But I think one of the keys is to share that it's a scary conversation, not pretend like it's not. And also don't blindside them by just showing up in panties one day. Have the conversation before and see where they're at. And if they shame you, then let them know. Like, wow, your response actually, or maybe you get turned on by them shaming you. I don't know. But if they shame you and it doesn't feel good, let them know that, okay, there's a part of me now, if it feels like I need to really hide myself, or I'm not really safe being me, and this is a part of me that is really important to me. So what are some other ways that I can find an avenue to express this? And again, can I see a sex worker to go and express this? Can I watch, porn or I guess they want to wear panties or whatever that is. But I think it's important as partners also, if you're not into it as the partner, to lovingly say, oh, well, thank you for, thank them for sharing. It's brave, right? You're so brave for sharing that. And as I feel into it, it's not really my thing, but let's come up with some ways so that you can still maybe feel seen, or maybe it's not by me, or maybe it is by me, but we find ways that I still feel comfortable with, or maybe it's not really my thing, and that's just where I'm at. But you don't have to say, ew, that's gross, that's weird. I'm like, when you do that, you're someone's going to closet it, and then maybe you'll get clients. Just saying.
I just had an actually I want phone sex call right now was tapping on me.
Oh, really?
I literally did. It literally just happened.
Soon you can.
It was,
Soon.
I know.
I'm wondering if you have. Is it super pertinent and important to share if the panty wearing is not, if they want to do it in front of their partner, of course, you'll have to say something, but how important is it to share if it's something that you do and it turns you on and you're, calling or, operating with someone that's working in the shaming field or whatever they want to do, if it doesn't have to involve their partner, it doesn't sound like it's hurting anyone, right? And there's no consent involved because you're the consenting person wearing the panties. So my thing is, if you want to involve your partner, maybe the conversation as Amy was mentioning, but if you don't want to involve your partner, then maybe just do it when they're not home.
I think sometimes too, a lot of these, the symbolism around panties is constriction and holding it tight.
Oh,
and
really? I think it's the silky feminine feeling.
But it's holding it. It's cradling their cock, right?
Yeah.
But they love those silky. They love when we say things like silkies too, right? Because do you get a lot of thong wearers?
Yes.
Yeah, they just, it blows me away because I feel like these are very easy things to come to your partner with because it doesn't make you gay. It doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you anything but just wanting to have really a fun time.
You're just curious.
It doesn't make you anything other than you're just experimenting. And I always say to Nikki, we would not be in business if people were having sex or it was just easy for everybody to come to the table with these, what we look at, because we're used to this little minutia kind of things, throw on some panties, go have fun. But that is regular person USA cannot have this conversation without looking at their partner like, oh my God, what is wrong with my partner? Or
yeah. I really like the advice you gave about prepping your partner. Hey, this is so important to me. So don't, humiliate me for it. Let me down gently. And then also, expecting that your partner just might not be into it, but coming to an agreement or compromise or solution.
I mean, relationships are always just it's a negotiation. It's figuring out what are your needs and what are mine, and hopefully most of the time they can meet each other or overlap. And if they don't, there's so many options, and sometimes the options are separation. That might be part of it too. But there's so many options there for us to still get needs met that might not be, and also not putting all of your needs to be having them all be met by your partner. If you're in a monogamous relationship, then maybe your agreement is that most of your sexual needs that will be met there. But there's other avenues, like how safe would it be if there's a partnership where a man goes up to his partner and you say it's his wife. I'm really in this that want to wear panties. She's like, I'm not really that into it. It's not really my thing, but thank you for sharing that, and I respect you and your interests. And here's these women that you can call and pay to go and have these experiences. Who you're not seeing them in person.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's safe and it's not threatening. It's funny that people I have clients that get threatened by just having their partner watch porn, but it has nothing to do with you. It's such a safe place for people to still get needs met.
And I hope you all agree, but how impossible is it for partners to show up in every single way all the time sexually? For people ebb and flow and change.
You can't,
and it's impossible. Right.
One thing I heard you guys say on your podcast a lot is we're not robots.
Yeah. No.
And we say that often about sex workers because they, clients just assume, yes, you're ready to cam at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. And, we've always referred to sex workers like that, but hearing that, the non-sex worker female also feels like men treat them like robots. Was just fascinating to me.
Yeah. It's constant too. It's you just because you do this, you take phone sex calls, you're behind a screen. Well, how are you not available 24/7? As if I'm
a human.
Some kind of because this is you chose that's your occupation. You are some thing that just sits there fielding calls all day with no life, and also strapped to your computer. Can you look this up? No, I can't, because I'm not sitting in front of you're not? Oh, I'm out living my life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. How dare I?
It's true. We need to. And I also think I have to be mindful and remember that about my partner. I'm I want my partner to show up in all these ways, and typically there's some things that I just have to do and get elsewhere. I love kind of certain. I don't have a lot of fetishes per se. I'm learning slowly of what I'm into, like the foot thing we talked about. You are just now learning about your.
I've experimented with foot fetish towards the men who pay me for years, but never my personal sex life until more recently, and I discovered it's something I really enjoy.
It's interesting to explore, though, and know that and I think for the listeners out there, know that your partner just can't do everything all the time. And having these kinds of resources is amazing. And the fact that it's also creating so many jobs for people that perhaps are in places in the world or the country that you don't have a lot of access. I mean, look, like you can work if you're in Nebraska in the middle of nowhere, you can still do this type of work.
It's a niche thing, too. Like, everybody's got we cater to, like, a very specific, at least you can get this safely. No, you don't have. It's not going to fuck up your life, your marriage, and then you go back home. That's it. Nobody needs to know. Shut the door. You got your thing out. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Not affecting anybody. Not hurt. No harm. Nothing.
What would your advice be to a partner who's uncomfortable with their partner working with one of you? You know, someone who is and you know they don't want to meet their partner's needs in their panty fetish or whatever that is, and their partner wants to work with you, and they think that they're not comfortable with it. What would your advice be to that person?
I think that if the partner is so uncomfortable to the point it's causing friction in your relationship and you're still engaging in something that makes your partner hurt, it's not the right relationship for you. If you need it that bad to the point you're willing to hurt your partner and witness their pain, then you need a new partner.
Good one.
We give walk-away advice all the time because people sometimes just need to figure it out, recalibrate. So I love that advice.
And if that's not the case, I think I would be open with my partner and say, okay, so here's if you can't give me this and you're okay with this, there's this. I don't even know this person. This person's never going to know me. They're never going to see me. Would you mind if maybe I spoke to this person? And it's cool if not, then walk. If not, then maybe your relationship's not for you. But that's just sexually. I wouldn't dump an entire marriage or whatever over a fetish or something.
It depends, I think, on how deeply it's ingrained in a person, how badly they need that fetish to get off. I think some guys make the mistake after they talk to their partner and their partner's like, yeah, cool, I'll try that. And then they want to do it every time. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh shit, this is my sex life now. I didn't know we were doing this every day. So I think it's important to ease into things and to not make that be the thing all the time, especially if your partner's doing it for you, not because they're really into it.
This podcast is made possible by some of our favorite things. Uberlube is one of them. Amy, why do you love Uberlube so much?
I don't just love Uberlube. I am obsessed with Uberlube. Before I used Uberlube, I had no idea that a lubricant could be this good. Uberlube is a luxurious lubricant that I literally want all over my body. Yes, I mostly use it for sex and intimacy, and let me tell you, it enhances everything. It has no flavor. It has no scent. It never gets sticky. It almost feels velvety and powdery on my skin. I want it everywhere. And let me tell you, it also has other uses. You can use it in your hair, for your hair frizzies. You can use it for massage. You can use it for chafing. Again, mostly using it for sex, and it allows me to feel that skin-on-skin intimacy that a lot of other lubricants do not allow for. April, what about you? What do you love about Uberlube?
I love the beautiful bottle. It's glass. It looks like perfume or some kind of beautiful cosmetic. Put it on my nightstand. Nobody knows what it is.
So to learn more about Uberlube, go to uberlube.com. Enter coupon code SHAMELESSSEX in all caps. You get 10% off and free shipping. This podcast is also made possible by OMGYes.com. April, what do you love about OMGYes?
Oh my God, yes. I love OMGYes. It's a research-based online program where you can look at 2 seasons, external, internal, vulva stimulation. It's tools for your tool belt. Add things to your menu.
So if you're looking to up your orgasm game, if you own a vulva, maybe you already have amazing orgasms. Maybe you want even more amazing orgasms. Maybe you've never had an orgasm. OMGYes is something for you. If you're a vulva fan and you want to learn how to pleasure a vulva, OMGYes is something for you. Again, research-based. You get to watch these tasteful, non-pornographic videos that give you a real idea of what real body's like so that you're not left in the dark. To learn more, go to omgyes.com/shameless. You get $5 off and you can watch the videos unlimited times. It is a game changer for all of my clients, all of our listeners who have watched it. You can find out for yourself. Go check it out.
Has that happened to either of you two? Has anyone come to you with a fetish that neither of you had really dealt with before, that you were like, oh my God, experimented with it, and then suddenly it became routine in your sex?
No, definitely not a fetish. I went on a date with someone recently who has a wet look fetish, and it's not like latex wet look. It's literally water, and it's very arousing for him to see. If I was in a bathing suit, and by the way, I haven't dove into this yet. Interesting word.
So Farrah Fawcett,
perfect.
by the way.
I know, and I have it, but I haven't. If I was in a bathing suit and I got in water, it wouldn't really do much. It's the unsuspecting, right? A normal outfit is like jeans and a white t-shirt, and you go in the hot tub or the pool or the bathtub, and you come out, and he thinks it's related to having his first sexual experience at the beach, and he's a surfer, and so thought it was just this really arousing thing. And I heard that, and I was like, and so I asked, one of my questions was, do you need this to get aroused? Can you get aroused without that? And he said, yeah, I don't need that. It is my spank bank material, and I find it super hot, but I don't have to have it every time. So I would ask that information beforehand. And I've gone on one date with him, but we've totally talked about it, and that at some point, and I thought, I was like, that sounds fucking hot.
That is hot. It's a different one.
I thought it was hot. And it also sounds really easy, by the way. I can turn you on by just jumping in my hot tub in my clothes right now. And that's all I need to do for you to just be like, you losing it? And it sounds, I would totally explore that. So yeah, I haven't experienced someone needing to make it a regular thing or expecting that to be there. But that's just another conversation to have. You just say, you go and try the thing, and then your partner's like, oh, can we do it every time? And you check in with yourself. I love exploring this with you, and it's not something I want to do all the time because it's not my thing. It's yours, and I want to share this with you. So can we do it X amount of times per month or per week or whatever that is, and just speak to it as opposed to like, oh fuck, I'm just going to do this thing that I don't want to do with this person. But have you ever had a fetish come your way that became a regular thing that you didn't really want to be a regular thing?
I was just digging deep to try to think about that. Nothing was over the top or strange to me. Because the wet look thing I'd never heard of that. Yeah, is that wet look? Yeah, I was thinking about, could you substitute oil for the wet look, because that could be fun.
I mean, he did make a comment about Uber Lube, because we were talking about Uber Lube on this podcast all the time, and he was like, I don't know, did I give him a bottle? Anyways, he made a comment about like pouring Uber Lube all over me, and that seemed to somehow potentially seem really hot to him.
Do you know what I'm picturing for your date? You're wearing a tight white tank top, and you gift him with a squirt gun and on wet t-shirt contest style. Because I'm thinking, while you're saying this, when he wet look, I'm thinking white shirt with nipples poking through.
Yeah, no bra.
Gotta have the nipples.
Yeah, that is, to me, all I'm thinking is, the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah.
She gets out of the pool.
Yes.
And the water is drenching. Nipples are hard. I'm reenacting this right now, by the way.
She's totally Fast Times at Ridgemont High song over there.
You feel me?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking that's probably, in the surfers had like slow-mo coming, and the water is dripping, and the nipples are hard as a rock poking through. So yeah, all I can think of is white tea, and you gift that person a squirt gun, and you're gonna have a good ass.
Just squirt away, and then they also it's the act of them also squirting.
Oh yeah, you get wet,
yeah,
or whatever, or like a water balloon.
Oh,
no, I'm wet.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh my god, my titties are hard.
You got me.
Yeah. I think it sounds fun. And when I hear people, I had a client once that said that they were a feeder. We talked about this on the last podcast. When I hear people's fetishes, I'm not only fascinated, but I think a lot of them are just super exciting. Some of them are really cute to me, and I appreciate the uniqueness of it, and I see also how scary it is for them to share that, and how a lot of folks have been shamed or just closeted and never asked for it. But for me, for the most part, as long as it's consensual, I'm like, that is awesome or hot or adorable or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
what's the most off the cuff thing that you've kind of like heard or from callers or clients, or because I want to fill my brain with some of these things out there, because I'm so curious.
Oh god, we could
there's
blow your
so
brains
much
away.
Well, Sammy the meat fucker that calls our show was very weird.
Loser lube. Tell her about loser lube.
Oh, loser lube.
Since you're lube aficionados.
We have Uber lube.
We have Uber lube.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about this for some lube?
What's loser
I
lube?
have this guy. He actually calls the iWantRadio show, every so often.
Yeah.
And he was actually one of my first phone sex callers, and it was a domination call. So I was making him like write loser on his body and do stupid things. And then I told him to jerk off with hot sauce. And I told him it was loser lube. And he didn't even get to orgasm because he was screaming in the shower, like wailing, ah, like this is so painful. I hate it. And I hadn't talked to him for about 5 years because I run a company. I don't have time to do phone sex that often. But we'd started the show and he still remembered it and called in and like reminded me of that story. Like it stuck out to him so much. I don't know if I presume it was in a good way because he sounded happy to call.
And then he proceeded to jerk off with Ben Gay for us, maybe
and
toothpaste.
That is
yeah,
so painful.
But I don't find him like, to me, that's a typical caller. Yeah. I think Sammy the meat fucker who said he took the poultry, like the chicken breast,
poultry pounded.
Yeah. Together to make a pussy was by far like the weirdest thing. We actually looked at each other during that show with our jaws dropped. Like, wow, we thought we heard it all, but we haven't. I've been asked, I did a custom video sitting on a cake, which is very messy.
You were sitting on a cake,
yes.
And you sent it was a video that you sent for someone to someone. Okay,
yeah, it was a custom video,
and
he
cake
wanted
right
me.
here. We're celebrating.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. I feel like I don't get as many weird requests.
I get a lot of
because
weird
I'm like
shit.
a bikini girl, so guys are just like, you're hot, be mean to me. But I do see a lot of, weird requests because we have iWantCustomClips.com. So Ciara Lynch, actually, who you mentioned earlier, who's been on your show, she's coming on our show again very soon. She gets a lot of weird requests. Like I've seen hers where she gets, can you be
yes, I heard that.
Can you be a vampire in furs and do this to me? And I saw the guy ask her on Twitter, like, hey, did my custom clip sell really well for you? She's like, no, nobody else is into that.
Just you.
So
it's weird. I've got some pretty weird one, which is, if you're a CBT, which is cock and ball torture, there was one guy who he would get on webcam. I saw him do this. It's a fact. He would put his penis in a drawer and slam the drawer shut. Okay, that's weird. That's more painful. But I'll give you a good weird. There was a guy, oh God, I loved him so much. He would go to Costco. He would get a Costco size thing of Vaseline. And he would get on cam. You can't see me. It's one-way cam. And he would take the Vaseline and put it all thick glops, like scoops, all over his face and put lipstick on, like Baby Jane. You guys know that the movie Baby Jane? Okay, it's whatever happened to Baby Jane. It's like clown fucking lipstick. It was like crayon. And then he took a dildo, dipped it into the tub of Vaseline. He's like, I'm going to throat fuck myself now. So when I say it's gooped, it's gooped. It's like everywhere, like a fucking clown. And he took that dildo with all of that, and he's like, ah. And I honestly couldn't believe my fucking eyes. I was like, this is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. These are anomalies, though.
Right,
yeah.
right.
These are...
Some guys are very, very specific in their fetishes. And
very
like
specific.
One guy used to call me, and he wanted to be humiliated for having like gay thoughts while wearing knee-high socks. Like I had to wear knee-high socks, or it did not work. Like
that
he
is
was
so
not
Catholic
turned
school.
on. And he was just so specific about it.
It's so. My favorite part about it is how psychological it is, because I actually like to kind of break it down with all of them. Like, where is this coming from right now? There, a lot of guys like to repeat things. So that's the big thing too. If you've got to be good at what we do, you've got to be real tuned in, and you really do have to pay attention, because they're giving you the bone. They're telling you there's specific words. A huge word, which I don't usually say it on the air because it's now so taboo. The FAGGOT. One of my biggest, like, if I'm
selling the thing on your website.
Okay, I sell MP3s. I make MP3s. That is my number one. So when I use that word, oh, do they sell like a hotcake? They want to hear that word
because it's part of the sissy boy. Yeah, it's part of that whole.
Well, it's regular, and it's even not even sissy. Just regular guys. Like, you're a bleep. And like, it's so weird. I'll do it in MP3s, but I feel awkward doing it. Absolutely. But holy shit, does that sell? Like, I can't even tell you. That is that word drives them wild. Think about it. It's taboo. And oh my God, to be accused, to hear that about yourself, because there's a lot of repression going on. But wow, that is a hot spot. But they lead you into it. If you listen, they will guide you right into what they want.
Yeah, there's subtle cues. I feel like certain words you can notice that they whimper a little bit, or they immediately ask, "Can I tribute you?" Which is basically a tip in FemDom world, but it's a cash gift, or I guess a gift that's given without the expectation of anything in return, simply because you said that word and it's triggered in their brain. Like they just recognize it and it turns them on.
And that's another here. This will blow you guys away too. There's specifically a phone guy I'm talking to. He said something. He pissed me off, and then we had this whole little thing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to block you and I will ignore you. He made a new account, sends me $1,000. Literally, I wake up, I see $1,000 tip on my iWant phone thing. I'm like, what? And it was only because I'm like, fuck you. I'm not gonna listen to your shit. That's the game. That's the game.
Yeah.
Wake up. There's $1,000 waiting for me.
This
is the easiest money I've ever made.
And I'm not. It's just a psychological game.
Yeah.
There wasn't sex involved in any of this. In fact, that's the poetry guy I was talking about.
Oh, really?
He pissed me off, and it was like, all right, goodbye. Talk down to me. I'm done with you. Oh, no. And they will come back. And I don't ask for it either. I don't say, give me that money.
Yeah.
They know how to get you back.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most empowering things about being an online sex worker is if somebody just pisses you off, you just block them.
Yeah,
like you just don't have to deal with anything. It's so empowering.
It is empowering.
And usually they'll pay you to come back.
They will. That's kind of a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Sesta Fostala stuff, that doesn't apply to this the market, right?
Not
us.
No.
Not
Only
okay.
real-time
Only
like,
real-time
sessions.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And we don't
good.
Nikki and I do not meet anyone ever. We are 100%. You don't get near us. Yeah.
No, not unless you want to come on our show
or
and
AVN.
spill everything.
At AVN, some guy came up to us and just to talk to us, just handed us each $100 just for 5 minutes of conversation. And to take a picture
Wish
with
that
us.
would happen to us.
Yeah, we're in the wrong
It does.
industry.
Seriously, if you just kind of put it out there, I swear to God, it just happens.
Put it out there.
Put it out there.
We're creating an Amazon wish list. We got some
Get the
things.
Amazon
Do it.
wish list going. I'm telling you, there's so many people who would love. It's not even about that they just want to see you have nice things, or
They just want to make you happy.
just wanna make you
because they
happy.
enjoy, the form of entertainment that you provide.
it's appreciation.
What do you think our specialties would be if Amy and I were to go into your line of work? Do you have any ideas? Have you read us yet?
Being just you is you. That's
Damn,
it.
I
You
was
don't have
hoping that was going to be something
No,
really.
but that was what I don't think that's the thing I think seems to be a problem with a lot of people who come into this. They're not themselves.
Yeah.
People
authenticity is
fall for
lacking.
you
Oh.
because you're just you do you. Like I do me. She does her. I don't go like, oh my God, this looks like it's the #1 selling thing, so I'm going to go do that now.
Well, they'll be able to see right through it if it's not you. Then it's a performance that maybe they can't see. Maybe you're a great performer, but it's going to feel better for you and them if it's coming from authentic.
I see you both being successful, just being communicators and having full-on open dialogue is where your money would be at.
Yeah.
Like FemDom is a state of mind.
Yeah.
Totally.
You don't really need to just be like, you're an idiot, you're a loser. It's a lot of conversation and powerful, and like you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just want someone to talk to who's, feel confident. I'm a confident
Yes.
girl.
Yeah.
It's definitely not about you're this, you're that. It is so much deeper. It's relationships.
Yeah.
It's establishing it. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys humiliate? Because you guys haven't done any of that here.
No, not really. I mean, I am more of like the super nice person that wants everyone to be happy and
People pleaser?
Yeah, total people pleaser, caretaker, all of that stuff. I'm definitely playing more into that role.
I feel like I have this bitchy side that's slowly coming out the older I get. I'm like, what is going on with me? I just like more eggy or something, and maybe I would be a good humiliator. Maybe that's a way
I think
for
you
me
should try it.
to also get out some of my aggression. Just because I run a company, I have this podcast that's very fulfilling. I get stressed the fuck out, and then I've got all these other things that happen, and sometimes I think that I just want to to be like, hey, fuck you, or you know.
You'd love it.
But only to someone that would want, if they would want that. I don't want to
Yeah.
just say that to someone at the, the cash register at Trader Joe's or something. Like, hey,
If someone's asking for it, but I guess
it feel better.
Yeah.
But it's all about them, I guess.
It's fulfilling.
Yeah, some clients are like, you must humiliate guys everywhere you go. And I'm like, no, I'm actually a decent human being, and I'm not going to humiliate you unless you're paying me for it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah, like please, when we go out, we're not like, hey, look at that loser over there. It's not even close.
No. Yeah.
Not even close. Money talks, and I'm not even going to give you my verbal jive unless you're paying me. That's my service.
I love that you two seem to love what you do, and there's also this love for a lot of your clients too. There's this piece there, maybe not all of them, but it seems like there's some little pieces there that you actually truly care about. Or you think, I forgot what exactly words you used, but there's someone that you said like, oh, I love this, this client, and it's just, I think that that's really beautiful that it is this niche thing that is different from what most people are choosing. Well, same with our careers, a little different too, and you love it, and it's so empowered.
They're humans too.
Yeah.
We all shit the same. Yeah. We all pee the same. They're just because they got their thing doesn't make them less of a human being. They treat me with respect. I treat with them the way they want to be treated, which I feel like it's a respectful back and forth.
Yeah, it's mutual.
Yeah, it's mutual. And unless somebody disrespects and like stalks or does something awful, love it. It's fantastic. I provide you with a service. You provide me with my income.
Yeah.
It's two-way street. It's business. It's business. But I do dig some of them. I've got some pretty damn cool humans.
I feel
that
like
talk
the
to.
best clients are like the ones that you have long term are the ones that you're truly friendly with, and you just have chemistry. It comes down to chemistry, like any other relationship. So if you vibe with them, then they're going to stick around for a while.
Yeah, and the cool power that we have is when you do annoy us, we can just be like, "You're annoying me." Click. And shut it off, and you cannot find us again. Like you, just
Unless you send me $1,000.
Exactly. You can block, you can turn your lines off, you can shut it off. It's pretty damn empowering.
Yeah, I feel like I lucked into like easy street on life. Not that my life is always easy or anything, or that I haven't worked hard for my success, because I certainly have. But I really love what I do, and I know you do too, Dr. Lovejoy. We love our jobs. We love learning about people's different fetishes, and like, I guess just encouraging them to talk about it.
That's kind of the coolest part. Yeah. We have met in the year and few months that we've been doing this so many different kinds of people across the board, and it is pretty damn amazing to learn about people's lives, and that we're all the same. We're all human. No matter what you're doing right now, you still came the same way I came. We got here all the same, and people are really cool when they let their guard down, and it's pretty damn fun.
Yeah, it's really cool, the camaraderie that sex workers have amongst each other, because a lot of society looks down on us, whether you take your clothes off or you don't take your clothes off. If you're a cam girl or you're an escort, we're all lumped in that same group of whores to most of society. So we really support each other, and we try to... One of the nicest compliments we got about our show was that we show a really human side of
humanize everyone.
Yeah, like
girls.
the porn girls that come on, because a lot of times they go on the shows and they're just strictly asked sex questions, whereas I feel like we get deeper, and
I want to show that you're a person. You don't just fuck on a camera. That means your whole life is fucking on a camera,
and their fans love it.
You both got deep today on the show, and it's funny too. I mean, it's funny, but there were deep moments, and I appreciated the juxtaposition. It wasn't all just blah blah blah, and kind of like fun and banter. There was some deep, awesome stuff too. Well, I love both of you, and can you tell our listeners how they can find you and a little bit about your show, just so they can get to you?
Sure. You can find the show on Twitter at iWantRadio Show. You can find it on Instagram at iWantRadio Official. iWantRadio is live Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM, channel 415. That's Vivid Radio. We love the partnership with them, and we're having a great time. So come hang out with us.
So where can everyone get you, beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh, and me. You can find all of my content at iWantNikki.com. You can find me on Twitter at Bratty_Nikki, and my Instagram is Bratty Nikki.
And you can call me and have non-traditional phone sex at I Want Dr. Lovejoy and find my erotic audios. And Twitter, FemDom Therapy, Instagram, I Want Dr. Lovejoy. And you already gave out our show?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. I wish you guys lived in LA because we would be the fiercest foursome
Oh, yes.
on the
We'll be doing more.
planet.
I smell a repeat
I
episode.
I can't wait.
I smell quarters.
I smell quarterly episodes. Well, thank you both so much. And thank you to all of our listeners out there. We love you so much. If you have just a moment, just one moment, check out marginswine.com and see why we love Margins Wine so much. It absolutely is some of the best wine I've ever had. And I'm a wine snob. Amy will tell you. It's true. So check out Margins Wine. And if you have another moment, go to iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We read all of the reviews. We love your feedback. And we love you. Tune in next Tuesday. I should say see you next Tuesday. And ciao for now.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.